I really never thought it would be this soon where I would be talking about the passing of Toriyama. He was the sole creator of what brought me incredible joy throughout my entire childhood, and still to this very day. There hasn't been a day that went by that I didn't see, watch, play something Dragon Ball Z. He was the original heart of the Dragon Ball Z manga, where the very start where Goku met Bulma, to the very end where he left off with Oob. That was all Toriyama's work, to me at least. He had his most involvement in the manga in the making of Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't matter, all the bickering between Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Z Kai, and how good Dragon Ball Super is, or if GT is canon. We all love some aspect of Dragon Ball. The entire part of Dragon Ball Z, I loved every single aspect of it. I think it was around the age of 4 to 5, my older brother showed me one episode of Dragon Ball Z Kai, where it was the Z fighters facing off against Nappa in the Saiyan saga. And from then on out, I was completely hooked into this anime for the rest of my entire life. Dragon Ball has had a huge impact on my life like I would literally never believe. Its influence is amazing. I've made multiple friends through just talking about Dragon Ball Z. I connect with people through Dragon Ball Z. I'm pretty sure it was whenever I was 14 or 15, I went to the first Comic-Con, which was Kamehacon in Texas. I got to meet the voice actors. I got to do incredible things and experience incredible events, all just because of one man creating one manga. And I can never say that I would have anything that Toriyama has even touched other than Dragon Ball Z. I've never met this man once in my entire life, but the impact that he's had on mine is just incredible. And to say that he's gone, I knew the day would come, unfortunately, through my lifetime, but I really didn't want it to be this soon. This year, I'm getting married. And from the time before I knew I was even getting married, I knew Dragon Ball would be somehow involved, just because of the amount of influence it's had on me. I just got this week the wedding topper, which is a Goku and Chi-Chi statue. I might even dress similarly to Goku's tux. I've connected to my own wife through Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has impacted my life for the better. To see that he's gone is just incredibly depressing to me. Dragon Ball as an anime, as just one show, impacted so many people's lives. Anytime that I hear about Dragon Ball, regardless of the fandom being sometimes hard to deal with, for the majority of the time, if people actually talk about it, it's impacted their lives greatly. Regardless of any opinions, we still love Dragon Ball. I've even heard of kids getting the courage to face off against their bully just because they watched Dragon Ball. Toriyama as a man stayed to himself. You never heard him getting into any trouble. You never heard him doing anything but working on Dragon Ball. And from what I've seen, he seems like he really loved his family. Dragon Ball just isn't an anime to me anymore. I've grown to just always look forward to something, whether it's Dokkan Battle, the anime, movies. It's always exciting for me just to see anything Dragon Ball in a store that I just get like a child. Like a child in a candy store. And I know that the anime and everything Dragon Ball related will continue on without Toriyama. But it's more so the fact that now with every single piece of material that will come out, I have to look at the end of the credits and see in loving memory of Toriyama. He won't be a part of it anymore. We won't get to hear anything from him. There were times in my life where I felt like I completely lost all hope. But then there were times where I could just listen to the music or watch the anime, and it really helped me get through those times. There were really great memories that I had playing Dragon Ball or watching the anime with my brother. And those are times that I'm not ever going to forget about. Those are core memories that I have growing up. And it's thanks to Dragon Ball that I have those. It may sound the most stupidest thing to other people, but I've come to the point to where I don't care if I sound like a nerd or if I sound weird. I have this deep connection with Dragon Ball that I can't say I have with any other piece of material. And in my honest opinion, the original Dragon Ball Z, regardless of what anyone thinks, I really believe it's one of the most well-written stories I've ever seen. I have never seen so many people, so many companies give tribute to one person before. The fact that you have all of these companies like Adult Swim or networks broadcasting Toriyama's passing and giving tribute by playing old episodes of Dragon Ball, it's truly amazing. Dragon Ball has been impactful. Everyone knew about it. Even people who didn't watch Dragon Ball, everyone knew about Toriyama's passing. He will never be forgotten. I heard his own pencil, his own pen is in a museum now. He has the biggest impact upon all creators. People make a living through Dragon Ball. If there was ever a series to be the biggest of all time, it's Dragon Ball. I have no idea where I would even be if I had never found Dragon Ball. I don't know what person I would be. It helped me grow as a person to who I became. My personality right now is because I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I'm probably one of the most stubborn people just because I watch Dragon Balls, just because they never gave up once. And it sounds super silly, but it's true. Whenever I heard that Dragon Ball Z was coming back on air, I was probably the happiest I could have ever been at that time. I was so excited for Resurrection F and Dragon Ball Super to come out. I was watching all the YouTubers. I got into YouTube because of Dragon Ball Z. Hell, I connected with a friend because they showed me Team 4-Star. Dragon Ball Z Abridged was something that I thought was hilarious, and I got to watch that growing up as well. Not only did I connect with a friend, but I also got to spend time in the community watching Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Even though there wasn't any new anime content, I got to look forward to anything Dragon Ball Z Abridged. There's not many things that will last forever in this life, but I always knew deep down that regardless of what it was, who I lost, who gave up on me, Dragon Ball Z was still there. I could always have something to look forward to. It could make me smile, and I could watch it at any given point. Here recently we were watching Dragon Ball Super and the second ending comes up starring Star, and it just talks about reminiscing on all that you've done. The dreams of my childhood have now come to pass, and a new chapter starts, and the warmth we once shared is always going to be there. It just reminds me of Toriyama and what he's left behind and my entire childhood that I grew up with Dragon Ball, and it's incredibly sad. I never thought I would feel this sad over a celebrity death, over someone that I've never seen with my own eyes and who I barely knew what they looked like at the time. Toriyama's passing was just something else that I don't think anyone was prepared for, regardless of if the anime comes back. I know the magic of Dragon Ball will continue on for God knows how long, but knowing that Toriyama's gone is going to be hard as hell watching anything Dragon Ball related now. And there's really no way I could possibly ever forget about Dragon Ball and Toriyama as a whole and what it's done for me in my life. It's gonna stay with me probably until I die. If you guys have made it till the end of the video, let's reminisce on some of our best memories in Dragon Ball Z. Comment your most favorite part, whether it's the line, or the fight, or the reason you love a character. Tell me why. I'm super interested to know. Those parts in Dragon Ball is something that we won't ever forget. And I think it would be very nice to share beautiful moments that we've had. And to end off the video, I truly want to thank Toriyama for everything he has given us, and to say that he will never be forgotten. Until we meet again, Toriyama.
And now we end the story of the Dragon Balls, with the hope that the Earth will never again see the kind of darkness that brought it close to extinction so many times. But if that day comes, there is one who will step out of the shadows and fight in the name of all that is good and true.